Okay, fourth grade class, today we're just going to be doing a little project today. But first, before we do the project, I kind of just want to go over the scientific method. We had already gone over it the last week, so this should be a refresher for you guys. For our first one, we have make an observation. So when we are doing an experiment, I want you guys to do an observation. Then, about the observation, ask a question. It can be any question you guys would like. And then you guys are going to develop a hypothesis or a prediction. And remember, for a hypothesis, I want you guys to start with if and then. Then, after you make that hypothesis, you guys are going to test the prediction of that hypothesis. Once that is done, you're going to analyze what you got over it. And you guys should have this on your iPad so you guys can always go back and refer to this. And then once you analyze it, I want you guys to record your results. Afterwards, make a conclusion. Okay, so here is going to be an experiment that we are going to do, and it's called Penny Lab. We're just gonna call it Penny Lab for now, but I'm not gonna read all over the directions because you guys are going to do this by yourselves and you guys are going to have this. So for the first part of this, you guys are all going to have pennies in an eyedropper. But I'm going to demonstrate it first for you guys, and then you guys are going to do it on your own. You guys are going to be paired up in groups of 2, okay? So for some ideas for changing the variable, this is going to be the part 2 of this worksheet, and I will show you guys here in a bit. You guys are going to have hot water, and I will have that in the back, or soapy water, okay? So for the penny lab, you're going to answer the question, how many drops of water will fit on a penny? And I already went ahead and filled it out for you guys. For my hypothesis, I said if I use purified water on the head side of a penny, then I will have 20 drops, okay? And then for the procedure, you're going to set your penny on the center of your plate. We do not have a plate, we have paper towels, so go ahead and erase that off your paper, because we're going to use paper towels instead. And just go ahead and write paper towels like I am. Okay? Use your eyedropper to add drops one at a time to your penny. Count how many drops the penny can hold before it spills over the edge. Record your observations and data below. Repeat this 3 times. And I want you guys to highlight 3 times for me. 3 times, okay? Then you are going to calculate the number of drops that fit on the penny. So you're going to do this 3 times, and then you're going to clean it off the first trial, and then you're going to repeat it again over and over. So I'm going to demonstrate it for you guys here, okay? I'm going to put this down, and we're going to demonstrate this for you. So you're going to count. I have it on the head side for now. And then we are going to count how many drops can fit. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and then it's spelled, okay? And then you're going to put that on test number 1. I had 28 drops. And then you're going to clean it off, go get another paper towel, or just flip the paper towel. And we're gonna repeat that same process, but for time's sake, we are not going to do that right now. I'm just going to put a bunch of numbers in, and we're going to roll with it. Okay? Let's say for test 2, I had 30. And then for test 3, I had 32. Okay? For your average, I want you guys to highlight this. Average, and it'll tell you exactly what to do, but I'm going to do it with you guys so you guys can see what you need to do. For your average, you're going to add the number of drops for each test and divide it by 3, okay? And you guys are allowed to use a calculator, but for time's sake, I'm just going to do it right here. 28 plus 30 plus 32. 8 plus 2 is 10, carry the 1, 6, 7, 8, 90. So in total, we had 90, and then you're going to divide it by 3. Now you're going to do, how many times does 3 go into 9? You're going to put 3, that's 9, 0, 0, and then 30. Your average is 30 drops. And if you want to not use a calculator, you can go ahead and use, if you do not want to do it by hand, you can always use a calculator. 28 plus 30 plus 32 equals 90. Divide that by 3, 30. Okay? But for work, you're just going to do this. Let me go ahead and erase this. Then for your calculations, I would want you guys to put test 1 plus test 2 plus test 3 equals 90 divided by 3, which equals 30. Okay, that's what I want you guys for your part 1. Okay, and once you guys are done with your part 1, raise your hand so I can come around and check it before you move on to part 2. For part 2, I want you guys to go ahead and write change variable. Just like I have it here at the top of the board. Change variable in red and then highlight it. Okay? Then we will go over part 2, and then I already have some stuff written out just for time's sake. Okay, you will choose one variable in the experiment and see how that affects your results. How does the side of the coin affect the number of drops that fit on the penny? I put the side of the coin, okay? That is going to be my variable that changes. You guys are going to have the option to change the water, which will be hot water or soapy water, the size of the droplet, okay? Those are going to be your 3 changes you're allowed to do. For my hypothesis, I put if we use the tail side, then the number of drops will be higher on the tail side because the surface has less bumps, okay? And then your control variable is what you are keeping the same. I repeat, keeping the same. I want you guys to go ahead and highlight it for me in the little box. Keep the same in your experiment, okay? What I am keeping the same, having a little technology problem. What I'm keeping the same is the penny, the eyedropper, and the type of water, okay? You are going to repeat this procedure from using part 1 and changing the variable instead of water. And then for your data here at the box right here, where it says data, my changing variable is the side of the coin. Side of coin, which will be the tails. Okay? We're going to repeat that number of drops the same as we did as number 1. Okay? And then we're going to test it out right now. So here I am with this penny. Here it is on the head side. And now I'm going to flip it to the tail side. And we are going to see how many droplets. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, 18. It looks like we got 18. Make sure you dry that off before you continue and move on. So I'm going to put 18 for the number of drops. 18. And for time's sake, I'm just going to make, and then you're going to repeat test 1 and do that 2 times. So for time's sake, I'm going to do 21 and then 22. Okay? You're going to add these numbers up and then divide it by 3, okay? So for time's sake, I'm just going to use a calculator, okay? 18 plus 21 plus 22 equals 61. Divide that by 3, which is 20.33, but we are just going to round it to 20. 20 drops. Okay? And then, okay? And then you're going to write a conclusion. How did your changing variable affect the number of drops that fit on the penny? And then you're just gonna write it right here in this box, okay? So, if you have any questions, I will be walking around the classroom. And before you move on to part 2, make sure you raise your hand. Make sure you raise your hand before, so I can come and check it out. Check it before you move on to part 2, okay? If you're confused, make sure you raise your hand. I will come around and help you. But this is supposed to be fun, supposed to be active. This is some way where we can learn about the scientific method. It makes it easier and fun and interactive for you guys, okay? Remember, some of your changing variables will be hot water or soapy water and the size of your water droplet. Those are 3 things you can use for the back of your for this experiment, okay? I will have those in the back, and you guys will be working in groups of 2. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you very much.